Welcome, Bible boys, to our weekly study of the book of Genesis. We're going to take it from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 15. All right, so let's get to today's study. The study of the book of Genesis, week 1, Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 13. Basically, we are covering days 1 to 3. Let's have someone do the welcoming prayer. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 13. The creation of the world, beginning and day 1. Verse 1. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and then there was morning, the first day. Day 2. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse. And it was so. And God called the expanse heaven, and there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. Day 3. And God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together in one place, and let dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth. And the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants, yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit, in which is there a seed, each according to its kind, on the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed, according to their own kind, and trees bearing fruit, which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. For today's discussion video clip, we have a thought-provoking video from American physicist Gerald Schroder, who proposed the possibility of a 24-hour day creation. See the link in the description. Okay, time for questions. Let's discuss. Question A. What part or parts of Genesis 1 verses 1 to 13 stood out to you? How has the reading affected your perception of God? Question B. The opening verse of the Bible, Genesis 1:1, is perhaps the most iconic and most quoted verse in all of Scripture. Why do you think that is? How does its claim affect the rest of the biblical narrative? Can God be our object of worship and devotion even if we may not believe the Bible, word for word? And our last question, question C. The first 3 days of creation focuses on the creation of the physical universe, properties of light, darkness, matter, and time, for example, the splitting of the heavens, waters in the filament, and the appearance of dry land on earth. What do these verses say about the people and the culture, Israelites from 1400 BC, that produced these verses almost 3,500 years ago? Now, here's our bonus question. Question D. What are some of the problems with attempts to rectify the biblical narrative with modern science? Can the two coexist without conflict? How open are you to considering scientific views that support or contradict the Bible? Great discussion, guys. Let's close with a word of prayer, and we'll see everyone next week.